Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. Let's finish this off. What have we got? Not terrible maps, but Polyphemus does suck a boatload of ass. However, removal rate has been disabled, which I think it means it's free? I can't remember if disabled means free, or if you just lower it down to... No, surely you can jack it up to like 500%, or you can lower it down to 0, which, you know, raising it to 500% wouldn't give you disabled. I don't know. We'll just play and figure shit out. Easiest way to do things. What's wrong with this map? Regrow balloons. I see. I only say that because we got given so much fucking money to start with. Right. This don't work. That probably won't work. That'll work. Okay. Let's do it. See how we go. I will also put... See, that's so annoying. I wish there was a water-based area up at the top. Like a little water pool that the balloons could spin around in. Instead of having these stupid land-based platforms in between. Nice. I like the placement. Does that actually pop balloons? I mean, look at it, right? That's got the cone of you can't aim there. It's definitely... it's burning balloons. This guy's main attack can't do that. And Psy fucking insta-kills, so... That's so weird, isn't it? That is legitimately like... yeah, line of sight on the fucking fire. That is so strange. Huh. Maybe it's just there to signify that it can't burn the bottom balloons? Although it seems to also do that. No way. Can you stack the flame on this map? That's dope. I hope so. I like to put like a tack up here. I don't know how great it is, but that's what I genuinely like to do. Oh wow, actually that's pretty fucking handy. Okay, yeah, I'll keep that. Right. We have a couple of things to talk about. Number one, first of all, while I've got the attention of hopefully most of the people that actually click on this video in general, there's a Steam summer sale on at the moment. So if you're looking into buying some fucking Steam games that are on your wish list, now's probably the best time. A lot of them will be on sale, a lot of them will be pretty heavy discounts. Probably the best discounts you'll see on most of the games on your wish list for a while. So if you're like me and you've got a little bit of spending you want to get done, now is the time. I'm going to be searching through my Steam wish list and seeing how much I can get without feeling like I may as well just give up kidney to buy them instead. So yeah, that's number one. I feel like it's a nice PSA to throw out there for those who don't know, because honestly, if you miss out on a Steam sale and you were looking forward to it, oh, my heart goes out to you, man. Truly tragic. Alright. Okay. Second thing. Work today. Not as bad as it was last week Friday. Last week Friday, we finished work at 6, and then we finished cleaning up at like 8. Or like 7:30ish, but then I got home by 8. Meanwhile, one of my other colleagues left at fucking 9, right? Now, think about this. Alright, that happened, okay? That's legit, that's canon, right? That shit happened last week. This week, we had 100 more boxes to do, right? We had 100 more boxes to get through. Somehow, we finished earlier, right? No, sorry. This week we had 100 less boxes to do, right? So we had 100 less, which, you know, makes sense that The more boxes we have, the slower we'll go, or you know, the later it'll take for us to finish, right? That checks out mathematically. You know, more work, longer time spent on it. However, right? However, like I said, last week we were there till like 7:30ish, and some lucky few got to stay until like 9, right? Today, with only 100 less boxes, which 100 boxes doesn't really take us all that long to sort out, right? 100 boxes, maybe like 45 minutes to an hour. Today we finished at like fucking 5:30. Got out of there by 6 after cleaning up and shit. What the fuck? Now, there's a few reasons in my head that's going on, like, okay, well, you know, we did have 100 more boxes last week, which was true, but weirdly enough, some important people ended up either not showing up today because they had it booked off, lucky fuckers, or they did show up, then they felt sick, and then they went home. Cowards. Nah, I'm kidding. Genuinely, they did have fucking issues, sort of. Anyway, sorry about that. Just had a nice chat with my mum. Her and my dad have recently come back from a holiday, so it's been a little bit since I've seen them, but it's always good to see them again. But yeah, some key players were out of the game today, which did suck. But it also surprised me because, you know, the week before, we had all of our players. Well, all our key ones, right? So it's starting to make me question some things. And one of the things I'm questioning, which, by the way, probably won't happen, but just in case it does, if you figure out who you are and you're from my place of work, I hold no judgment against you. And this is just a theory. And I'm pretty sure I've said it to your face before anyway. As a bit of a joke, but also a little bit seriously. It makes me think the person that stayed till 9 last week Friday just fucks around a lot. Like, it's been brought up before that, because we're on the same, we've got like the same role, we've got the same title, I guess you would put it. We've got the same title, and so, you know, essentially, for the most part, we can do the same amount of jobs, roughly. It's, whoops. There are some things that I know how to do that, you know, the other person doesn't know, and there's some things that they know how to do that I don't know, right? So there's a little bit of our separate circles of the Venn diagram, but for the most part, our responsibilities and what we know how to do overlap, right? But yeah, so sometimes, or some days, I'm able to, well, not able to, but essentially I am, like, if they take the day off and my boss thinks that, you know, I can handle it and he's too busy with other shit, then I'll typically take on the role of managing everything and getting shit done at the end of the day, right? And typically I get shit done a hell of a lot faster than my sort of counterpart. And I've noticed this too, because recently we did lose Saturdays, but Saturdays used to just be me and you know, the other person I'm speaking of. Let's call them something fun. Bartholomew. So, when we were working Saturdays, Bartholomew would usually be in charge, right? And so, I was happy with that. I didn't want to take on those fucking roles and responsibilities if I didn't have to, right? That was brilliant for me. Anyway, Bartholomew would lead the whole team, dip out a little bit every now and then to get some shit done preemptively, supposedly. And then come back in, help us finish things off, and then sit around in the office doing all the paperwork and bullshit that we have to clean up and get ready, right? Pretty straightforward, nothing wrong with that. However, whoops, didn't mean to go that far, but maybe I should go necromancer. Nah, stick to my guns. Anyway, so ordinarily, it would just be hang out in the office, get your computer work done, you know, contact people if you're missing any information about the day, things like that. And then, once you've done all that, walk around the warehouse, closing all the doors, making sure everything's shut and locked up nicely, and then you can go home. You can fuck off and go home. Right? That's the best part. Now, when we worked Saturdays, Bartholomew, like I said, normally in charge. However, the occasional Saturday where Bartholomew took the day off, I would be the only one in charge, because my boss, our boss, doesn't work on Saturdays, right? And so, if Bartholomew's not in, and my boss isn't in, obviously, then I'm the one in charge, and I'm the one that gets shit done, right? However, on the Saturdays where Bartholomew was working, and doing all that after work stuff, Bartholomew would get out at like 3 or 4. Right? Oops, wrong button. Actually, that kind of worked out. Anyway, like I said, Bartholomew would get out at like 3 or 4. And then the 1 or 2 times that I'd work a Saturday and Bartholomew wasn't on, then funnily enough, all of a sudden, I was finishing at like 1 or 2. Which kinda pissed Bartholomew off. They were just like, what the fuck? How are you finishing at like 1 or 2 on a Saturday, and I'm finishing like at 3 or 4? And they even said, kind of makes me feel like I'm just dicking around, not doing anything on Saturday. I'm like, that might be your answer. Like, I don't mean to be rude, but to be honest, it doesn't take long to get that shit done. It really doesn't. Like, you have to really fuck around in order for that shit not to sort of solve itself, honestly. Okay, that vaguely worked. But yeah, I was like, I'm kind of surprised that you don't get out of here sooner than you do, honestly. And, you know, I definitely get out sooner than you do. Which just baffles me. There we go. Tag team on the Phoenix. This is why the Phoenix is always the safety net. But yeah, it was just funny. And then, you know, today, the 2 people that I would consider the most likely to fuck around, right? Because this is essentially Bartholomew and Bartholomew's a friend that locks up with them, right? Which means if Bartholomew's fucking around, then Bartholomew's friend is also fucking around. Or essentially not fucking around, but doing nothing to be of help, right? And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the company of both Bartholomew and Bartholomew's friend. Bartholomew's friend is also my friend. It's not an enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of situation. No, no, no. They are both really great people. However, both of them fuck around so much. Like, I'm honestly surprised they get any work done at all. It's a little baffling, but they're good people. It doesn't mean they should fuck around at work. It doesn't mean I'm okay with it, but it happens. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the type of person that doesn't fuck around at work. I fuck around a lot at work. However, I fuck around while I'm doing my job. I don't fuck around procrastinating against my job, if that makes sense. And boom. Okay. Get the second hardest map out of these three out of the way. Now onto the hardest one, and then we're cruising. We've got the easiest one for last. Right, is this free forever? Is that what? No. No, it's the opposite. It's disabled, so I can't remove it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, whatever. It's not like it's a water-related Odyssey or anything. Fuck. Although, to be fair, boat is still a decent start here. Nah, I think I'll go double wizard. See where that gets us. Just treat them like dart monkeys. That's all they really are. Glorified dart monkeys at this level. Now the question is, do I lose some lives? Which, of course, the answer is yes. Or do I think I place boat. Because let's be honest, even in a ship position, boat is probably way better than a wizard. Okay, here we go. Oh, the other thing I needed to bring up. So, for those of you that have a Nintendo Switch, you may know what I'm talking about. And even those that don't, you may know what I'm talking about if you've watched videos on it or you've just heard of it in passing. Have any of you heard of and or played or interacted with on any level the Switch game Ringfit Adventures? Because if so, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you some context. There's a game called Ringfit Adventures. Now, the Nintendo Switch is pretty notorious for being an all-in-one sort of console. It can be like a stationary console, you can make it mobile, you know, there's like motion sensors in the controllers. It's very versatile system, right? And so they designed this Pilates ring. I think it's a Pilates ring. So they designed this Pilates ring to slot in the Joy-Cons, right, for the Switch. So it slots in these Joy-Cons, and they can use the motion sensing and the tracking, as well as this Pilates ring's strength and tension, to measure and track movements with a little leg strap to go into this adventure game, right? Where essentially you can do a bunch of exercises, you can explore some fun environments that they've set up and have a little avatar version of you running through. And it's just a really cute adventure game designed to, you know, be really immersive, fun, and keep you fit. So it's like they're making fun exercising based games And genuinely, it's a good time. Like, if you are wanting to get fit, but at the same time can't be bothered because it's boring or not fun, or you have to go to a gym and interact with other people, like, this is a genuinely good way to get fit. You have to keep on top of it, and you have to, you know, appropriately adjust the difficulty level as you're progressing and getting better at the game, because otherwise there's no fucking point. Like, if you're just going to keep it on easy mode the entire fucking time, then, you know, if that's all you want, if you're genuinely just in it because you really like the game and you're not in it for the fucking exercise, then by all means, sure, do that. But if you really want to get something out of it in terms of exercise value, then you gotta keep that shit up. And at the very least, find a difficulty rating that never feels easy. You know, one that always challenges you, but you can achieve and you can do. Anyway, skip all that shit, right? Let me cut down to the brass tacks. Here's the deal. Last time I played on the Ringfit outside of recent times was 2022, right? So not last year, but the year before that one, right? I would wager. No, the year before that even, 2021, right? 2021 was the last time I played Ringfit, other than recently, right? And you know what else I was doing in 2021? I was doing my personal training fitness course, right? So I was very into exercise at the time. I was like full on making people's workout, what do they call it? Workout regimes, you know, writing up programs for people to follow, learning all the different ways you can split up programs, you know, upper body, lower body, you know, cardio, strength, muscular endurance, hypertrophy, power, all sorts, right? I was learning all the words, all the terminology, fun stuff, right? And at the time, we were talking about, you know, different ways you can keep fit and motivate certain people that, you know, may have, what do they call it? Barriers? Barriers to exercise, right? Or, oh shit, what's that stupid word? It's got the word train in it, I think. Oh, I can't remember it. Something train. Maybe I'm just putting the word train in for fun. Either way. Essentially, barriers stopping people from exercising, right? And, you know, a few of them that we came up with, I swear it just hit the tip of my tongue and then it just disappeared again. This is gonna annoy me. Anyway, one of the barriers we were talking about was, obviously, you know, boredom, right? People either get the same program every single time and they go, oh, I'm bored, I'm sick of this, boring, swap it. Or they go, oh, well, I've done all these exercises, you know, I've seen all the equipment in the gym. It's not all that appealing, it's not all that fun to me anymore, you know? It was super interesting, you know, when I was learning everything, but now that I know everything, it's sort of just boring to come in here and just be like, oh, okay, do this many of this, or that many of that, or whatever. And one of the ways you can curb that is by, you know, fun and interesting ways to curb your exercise, like, for example, the Ringfit game, right? So it was very relevant to what I was doing at the time, and so I was playing this Ringfit game while I was studying at TAFE, which is great. Very crossover of my favorite sort of down pastime of playing games, as well as studying and getting things ready for TAFE, right? And so, bear that in mind for all this context, right? Last time I played, was in TAFE, studying, you know, heavily into fitness, heavily, like, had much more knowledge about fitness than I probably do now. I've probably forgotten a good chunk of it, right? And so I came back to play it. about a week ago. Ringfit Adventure. First thing it says is, hey, you haven't played in a while. Would you like to lower the difficulty? And me, being the fucking top shit that I think I am, I look at that shit and I go, think I'm a fucking coward, game? Think I'm a fucking coward? No. Keep it at the current difficulty. I will match it. Or catch up. Right? And bear in mind, I haven't been to TAFE in ages. I have not been worked to the bone with workouts anytime recently. I've just been working at work, which is physically taxing, but not to the degree that certain workouts and exercises would be on certain muscles. So, issue number 1, I said, no, keep it at the same difficulty level. I can take it, right? That wasn't necessarily a bad move, because I've still stood by that, right? I'm still on that difficulty after a few sessions now, and it's been okay. However, the first day I got back into it, I just did some casual adventure sessions, because you can do like a little campaign mode as well. It's got like a proper story and everything. It's good fun. Would highly recommend. But yeah, so I was just doing a little bit of the campaign. Just nothing drastic, just sort of getting back into the groove, you know? Don't want to overdo it. So just a little bit back into the campaign, just to test the waters a bit. I did like 1 mission and 1 battle, and I was fucking cooked. Like, I did a mission where you had to do some cardio, like fucking running and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, this isn't the worst thing in the world. And then by the time I got to the end of that, I was like, whew, okay, this is, I forgot how good of a workout this was, nice. And then it took me into a battle, and I kind of forgot that, like, obviously all the exercises that you can do to verse enemies, there's like single target, there's multi-target, and then there's like massive AoEs that hits every enemy, right? I typically went for the big sweeping AoEs that have the most damage. But as it turns out, massive AoEs that deal a lot of damage, much harder to come by than single target ones that deal a shitload more, right? And so, because of the difficulty rating and because of the attack patterns, attacks that I chose, or exercises I guess, essentially, attacking in that game is you pick an exercise, you pick an enemy, if that's applicable, and then you repeatedly do that exercise, and for every rep that they count, damage gets dealt to the enemy, which is fucking phenomenal. Like, that is an amazing way to both exercise and have fun with video games, right? So, I'm doing all these reps and shit, and I'm like, holy fuck. Like, the difficulty being amped up, it doesn't make you deal less damage, it just gives the enemies more health. And then on top of that, it makes you do more reps, right? So you can technically do more damage because you're doing more reps, but the enemies have more health to compensate for that, right? So essentially, they're trying to balance it so that if you could kill an enemy at 10 reps on the easiest difficulty, you can still kill an enemy with that same attack. However, you'll have to do like 40 reps because of how much extra health the enemy has, right? So technically, the damage is still scaled with you, but the enemy health is scaled as well. So it's nice and balanced, right? Anyway, I had to do a shit ton of reps that I was not prepared for, and that fucking cooked me. Luckily, after that battle and after the initial mission that I was sent on, the game said to me, "Hey, do you want to finish up for the day?" And I was just there thinking to myself, like, oh, you know, I was like tossing it over in my head, and then I realized how much fucking pain my body parts were in from doing these fucking exercises, and I was like, oh, well, you know what? Yeah, if you think it's best for me to, you know, take it easy, take 5, and just sort of relax and rest from now on, I think I'll take your advice. Like, I pretended it was like a fucking doctor telling me to, you know, not walk after I just broke my fucking leg. I'd be like, oh, you know what? You know best. Can't ignore that. And so I was like, okay, yeah, let's finish up for the day. And it was like, okay, cool. You worked out for 12 minutes total. I was like, what? It's like, yeah. The time you spent actually exercising instead of reading text or, you know, like maneuvering between screens and such. 12 minutes total. And I was like, fuck me. 12 minutes. And I felt like that. I was like, okay, well, shit. And I didn't even make that much progress in the campaign. I did like 2 fucking things. I remember distinctly playing for almost hours when I first got the game because of how much I fucking loved it, right? So 12 minutes just seemed pathetic. But hey, the game recommended, you know, I don't think it would recommend me to stop if it thought, hey, I've, you know, clearly not done enough, right? So it knows, or maybe it's just going easy on me because I haven't played in a while. Either way though, that was incident number 1. That's right, there's more. Incident number 2 happened the second time that I played it, as well as the third time, right? So the second time I played it, I thought to myself, you know what? I played the campaign last time. I'm gonna play their custom exercises, which essentially means all the exercises that you have collected and learned throughout the story mode, because yes, you do start off with a select few exercises and then you can unlock more, essentially giving you new moves to beat up enemies with, but also new exercises to get fit with. Fuck, I love this game. And so you can implement that, and you can go, hey, in the custom game mode, you can just select, I think it's up to like either 10 or maybe 15, either exercises or cardio scenarios or mini games. They also have mini games as well. Really good fun. So you can select a handful of these different things, and you can just sort of mix them all together and go, hey, I don't have time to fuck with the campaign today, but guess what? I do have time to do my quick thrown together session of either arms or legs or whatever you want to build, you know? Nice, good save. Anyway, so that's another amazing feature that you can just casually throw in. And this may sound like a fucking sponsorship for the game, but god damn, I wish I got sponsors from things. I just happen to be singing the praises of this game because it fucked me up in terms of physical activity because I'm an idiot and I didn't lower the difficulty. Anyway, so, like I said, custom game mode, right? That's what I decided to get to. I decided, you know, campaign was fun and all, but I wanna make myself a nice little exercise list for when I get a little tired of the campaign, or, you know, potentially worn out in 12 fucking minutes, right? And so I was like, okay, cool. Let's make my own sort of exercise list and start following that. Little did I know that in 2021, my 21-year-old self decided, hey, guess what? I'm gonna make some exercise lists while I am in personal training and making exercise programs, right? So I've got some pretty nice exercise programs already lined up for me, right? I found this out a few days ago. As it turns out, I made myself one for arms and one for legs. How convenient. just like I said earlier, different ways to split up your exercises, that's certainly one of them. Upper body, lower body, right? I swear to you, right? I don't remember making those, right? First of all, I don't remember making them at all. However, I saw that I had them and I was like, you know what? I don't need to make one. I can just do these ones that are already made by me, for me. Which sounded fucking brilliant in my head. I was like, look at that. I bet you all enjoy them, because guess who they were made by? Fucking me. Right? That went well up until I started them. I swear, 21-year-old me, that motherfucker, he didn't test this shit. He didn't test this shit at all. That bastard made an upper body and a lower body program and then said, fuck it, I'm not gonna try it. And just didn't play it, just kept playing the fucking campaign. You know how I know that though? I tried to do them and I was fucked. That messed me up more than the campaign. I did the arm day the first time. I was like, okay, I've done a lot of these attacks in the main game, so, you know, it's not going to be that hard for me to casually smash them out, right? Easy stuff. And so I get into it, and then after the first arm exercise, I'm like, oh, yeah, that was good. That was good, I'm nice and warm. And then I realized that for the arm exercises, you know, I kind of just went arm exercise, mini game with arm exercise. Different arm exercise, different mini game with different arm exercise, you know, and just sort of alternated the way down, which I'm not bothered by it. You know, that was pretty decent of me not to just do the same arm exercise all the way through like some sort of cult. So yeah, I did that. And my arms, holy shit. They were in pain. They were suffering afterwards. You know what I had to do? Instead of resting between sets, at times I was resting between reps because of how fucking many I had to do and how difficult they were. And I thought the same fucking thing when it came to the legs, the lower body day. I thought to myself, hey, arms was difficult, legs is also going to be difficult, but hey, my legs thicker, there's more muscle there, they are stronger than my arms, right? 9 times out of 10, stronger than my arms, right? But then again, at the same time, I can squat 100, but I can also bench 90. At least my 1 rep maxes from TAFE told me that. So, you know, they're fairly on par, but, you know, if I was actively training both, my legs would progress a hell of a lot faster than my arms would. Anyway, so I got to the leg day and I was just like, oh, this'll be chill, you know? And then I saw, and I was like, starts off at squats. And then in the back of my mind, in the back of my little nerdy mind, I was just like, oh, look at that. Compound movements first, you know? Always do the large muscle groups or the bigger muscles first in an exercise program. You don't want to work on the stupidly specific muscles like a fucking bicep curl first. You want to do ones that incorporate multiple muscle groups. So if you've got the bench press in your exercise program and you've got bicep curls, throw that bench press in there first. That shit's working out your arms, that shit's working out your chest. Multiple muscle groups, ba-bang. Do that shit first while you have a lot of energy. You don't want to wear down your biceps and then later on need to rely on them in some other fucking exercise like a lat pull down, right? Lat pull down, another good example, works out a lot of your back muscles, your latissimus dorsi. That's a fun one, that's a really big back muscle. your shoulders as well, your delts, and then as well as up into your arms, your forearms. And depending on how you grip, can either affect your biceps more heavily or slightly less heavily. And incorporate your back a bit more. Anyway, we're getting off track here. Compound exercises first, then your more specifically targeted ones like your bicep curls, right? The ones that only really do like your fucking bicep muscles, right? Anyway, I saw that and I was just like, oh, smart me putting the fucking squats first before any of the other leg exercises. Yeah, and then very swiftly I realized how much of a fucking mistake it was. I look at the squats and it's like, oh, you have to do X amount of squats as reps and sets and stuff. And I was like, oh, simple. I can do that shit, right? I forgot that 1 rep of squats in Ringfit Adventure happens to also be not quite a squat. Let me explain. So what I thought it would be like, oh hey, you know, do a squat, that's a rep. Do another squat, that's a rep. What it actually turned out to be was you squat down, you hold it for 5 seconds, and then you go back up. Now, you might not think that's a very big difference from what I was saying earlier. You might think, oh, so what if you had to hold it for 5 seconds instead of just down then up? But believe me, if you've done a wall sit, if you've ever done a wall sit before, yeah? And you've held it for more than 30 seconds? Just imagine that shit without the fucking wall. And you still have to hold it. Right? Painful as fuck. So now imagine doing 30 reps of squats. And then imagine every single time you go down into one, you have to wait 5 seconds before you can come back up. That shit is fucking killer. After the squats, I was fucking done. Don't get me wrong, I still finished out those exercises, but god damn, that shit killed. Oh, I couldn't feel my legs. I sat down after that and I was like, thank fuck. Something I can do with multiple reps and just sitting at the bottom for a while. Okay, I definitely need a tier 5 somewhere. But goddamn, I did not expect myself to get so fucked up by Ringfit Adventure, but it just did. It messed me up big time. Which, don't get me wrong, I love complaining about it. And, you know, obviously, it's past me's fault, right? For being such a, how do I put it? For being an exercise junkie, I guess is accurate. Which, you know, in theory, on its own, perfectly fine. Nothing. Oh, really? I can't save that. Not now. But you know, nothing wrong with that. But I'm cursing myself out repeatedly now for the fucking amount of times that I've told people my dumbass made these exercise routines up at the time, didn't test them, and now 3 years later I'm finding them and I'm just like, oh, what's this curious little exercise program I've set up for myself? And it's the hardest fucking shit on the planet. It's just funny. And do I need to do this? Probably. Cool. Oof. Right. You. We need you to be a sub-commander, otherwise this team is gonna fucking flop. Cool. Much stronger. Much stronger. Anyway. So, I've now And by the way, another key lesson in exercise: remember to rest. If you've had a day where you've royally fucked over your muscles, like to the point where you can't walk properly the next day without thinking, ooh, every step, or like wincing at the pain, yeah, maybe, guess what? Maybe have a fucking rest day, right? So, like, don't get me wrong, I have done more physically taxing exercises before, but it's just funny to me that I do Ring Fit Adventure and then I need to have a rest day after it because I fucked up my arms and my legs that badly. It's just funny. But hey, it's good exercise and I just need to get back into it. Anyway, would highly recommend. Got a Switch, Ring Fit Adventure. It is a little bit more expensive than your average Switch game, just because it's got to give you the what was it? The Pilates ring, right? That's a whole thing in and of itself. It's not cheap, but not expensive either, I suppose. But it's honestly really good fun. The only issues I have with it are similar to my only issues with Hollow Knight, which is my favorite game. Is that, number one, I wish it was co-op. Oh, that would be amazing if it was co-op. Like, there's mods for Hollow Knight, but that's difficult to do for Ring Fit Adventure. Anyway, I wish it was co-op. You could absolutely make a co-op version of a lot of those game modes, and it would be so much more fun having someone else exercising with you. Don't get me wrong, I don't imagine that's a massive audience to have, you know, like multiple people in the family want to exercise simultaneously and play a game while doing it. But at the same time, like, I think that's massively fucking good fun. I think that'd be great. Anyway, that's pretty much my only complaint. I want it to be multiplayer, or co-op at least. I want there to be like leaderboards, or like more standardized leaderboards, or just leaderboards in general. I think it would be cool. Maybe a versus mode. You know, I don't think I'd do it very often, but I think it would be good fun to have a versus mode. But yeah, I can only sing praises of Ring Fit at the moment. Amazing game. Wish I could play it more. However, it also fucks me up a lot, so I gotta take my time getting back into it. It seems. Oh yeah, I need to be hooking shit constantly. But yeah, honestly good fun. Would highly recommend it if you have a Switch and you're looking to get into exercise, or you are exercising but you need to spice it up with something. Highly recommend. I think we'll be fine here. What is that, ABR? Yeah. So I'm thinking Loon Solver. And then we just need some heavy fucking hitters, right? Just in case. It's getting a little scared. Come on. Why did I do that? Okay, send it. Gonna take our time on this. Okay, now that those guys are pouring in, look what we're gonna do now. And we didn't even fucking need it. God damn it. I just hate when that happens. You try and strategize after sort of losing a round, and then it's like, oh, guess what? Guess what you don't fucking need now? That's right, good timing. You don't need it. We just gave you the win on that one. Sorry, but also, fuck you. That's how it feels. And good, good. Fortified DDTs are going down, I like that. Now what should I go for? The only thing on my mind at the moment is maybe I should go for like a top path boat to buff the other boat. Might be a good idea. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm able to pop Moabs with my fucking mine. I'm not sure I can top that. Beautifully done. Glue gunner. Amazing. Amazing work. So, I think at this point it doesn't really matter about me earning money. Let's get the camo detection. I don't like not having it. There he is. Number 1. How do we do? Oh, we're crushing it. We are crushing it at the moment. I like that. Always good to throw around a lot of tacks where possible. Alright. Big boy coming in. Let's take him down. Oh, he is taking a lot of damage there. I like it. Oh. Right, yeah. Can't be stunned. Because he's bitch made. There we go. Is that it? Is that it? Are we good? I think we might be good. Oh, I can grab PFBs now? Yeah, we're done. This is easy. Bang! Whew. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I did immediately dismiss Admiral Brickle at the beginning. Didn't end up placing any bomb shooters either, but hey. Sai knows how to get shit done. And there we go. Relaxing by the water. Very chill, very laid back Odyssey. I love it. Water park, springs, you name it, makes for a good time. Indeed it does. That has been Relaxing by the Water Part 2 completed. I keep getting thrown off by this because I keep thinking there's limited time stuff that I'm missing out on, but I think I've already bought it because it's not here. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. My legs are still in pain. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.